Kin Ang. You are mine. You are mine. Kin Ang.
My first day of school was a disaster. I gave a wrong answer to the question and my teacher, Madam Tan, told me, "You are wrong. You are stupid. You should sit down, shut up and listen." The whole class laughed. And that day, first day of school, I didn't make any friends. Contest chair, friends, and anyone who's ever felt stupid or maybe not good enough, isn't feeling alone and stupid one of the worst feelings in the world? What would you do then? I went home hoping Mom and Dad would be there, but they were at work. And all I had was my best friend, Xiao Xiong. So I told Xiao Xiong, "Xiao Xiong, I'm very sad. What should I do?" And Xiao Xiong replied, "Oh, it's okay. Things happen. You've got me. I am yours. And you are mine." And just like that, Xiao Xiong helped me pull through a terrible primary school experience. Because I knew I wasn't alone. I knew I was loved. And I knew Xiao Xiong was there with me. But as time passes, I got older, Xiao Xiong got dirtier, and my interest shifted from bears to girls. And so I remember studying in college, actually coming out of a bad relationship, when a friend that I met recently called me and said, "Kin, I'm scared. Can you come to my place for a while?" Now let me paint the context. I was studying overseas in New York, and she was in a different school. We met through mutual friends. But that day, she just sounded so panicked. And I thought, you know what? I don't like being alone and scared. Maybe I can be there. And so I took the train all the way to her place. And she told me, almost in tears, "There's a stalker following me in my dorm. Can you just sit here with me?" And so I did. And that night, we spent a lot of time moving our lips, talking, talking. And after a whole conversation, the whole night, the sun came up, and she finally said, "Kin, thank you so much for just being here." She grabbed my hands, and she put it on her chest. And she said, "Thank you because this night, you are mine. And I want you to know, if you need me, I am yours." Well, things certainly escalated quickly and we started dating. But as quickly as it happened, before I knew it, she told me that someone else was there for her and I was no longer hers. And she was no longer mine. Well, good thing it happened when I graduated. So coming back home to Singapore, away from that dreadful place, I spent most of my time with new friends. Ben and Jerry's. Every night because it tastes nice. And one thing led to another. I started work, had more friends, thankfully, more than just Xiao Xiong. And I remember this one night, I was at a bachelor's party for one of my army buddies. And after a night of drinking, dancing, debauchery, well, not really, it was just drinking, we decided, it's 2 a.m. There might be roadblocks, so we shouldn't drive. I thought, that's a great idea. I'm not going to drive home. I'm going to drive to the nearby massage parlor to rest first. So I got in the car, drove about 200 meters, was promptly stopped at a traffic roadblock, and the next thing I knew, I had a free ride to the police station. At the police station, they did some tests, breathalyzer, all of that, and I found myself sitting in a cold, empty cell behind bars. And all I could think was, what did I just do? here I am, feeling lonely, stupid, behind bars. Wasn't I a good kid? What am I going to tell my parents? I mean, am I now a criminal? Like, really? And as I sat there questioning my life decisions, a police officer came in and said, you get one phone call. And I didn't know who to call. I couldn't tell my parents. I'm a good son. Behind bars, that doesn't work. So I called the only person I could think of. My club vice president of membership. Because members matter, right? So I called and said, so I'm at the police station, I'm behind bars. Can you, well, come and get me, pay the bail? And like a good VPN, she did show up, paid the bill, and later she told me, there's going to be a court hearing, and I know it's going to be scary, but I want you to know I'll be there for you. And so the day of the court hearing arrived. Right before we entered the court, I was nervous. My hands were sweatier than it is right now. And I didn't know what to expect. But she told me, look, whatever happens, I know you're not just someone who made a mistake. You're someone with a good heart. You're someone who can do this. And I want you to know I'll be there for you. Because at least for this moment, you are mine and I am yours. And so I walked into that courtroom, nervous, but feeling assured. I was alone at the stand, but I wasn't alone because I knew someone loved me enough to be there for me. And so as I stand here speaking to all of you about this, it's really the power of presence that can transform your mood, your life, your feelings. Life is difficult these days, isn't it? We can be surrounded by people. We have 2,000 friends on social media, and yet we feel alone. We feel useless. We feel helpless. So as you sit here today, having spent the last 6.5 minutes or so with me, I want you to remember that if a stuffed bear could have made my primary school life better, you, a speaking, thinking, loving human being, can do so much more. All you need to do is just go to someone and tell them, just as I'll tell you now, for this last 7 minutes, you are mine and I am yours. Back to you, Qantas.